The Indo-France strategic dialogue took place very recently. India was represented by Shri Ajit Doval Kirti Chakra, the National Security Advisor to the Government of India, and Mr. Emmanuel Bon, who is the Principal Advisor to the President of the Republic of France. He met with the National Security Advisor, and Mr. Bon also met with the Prime Minister and the External Affairs Minister. What they discussed could well pave way for the future of India and France's partnership. Hi, I'm Major Gaurav, and you're watching Checkmate. So, ladies and gentlemen, regarding this Indo-France summit that happened, what has actually happened here is that France and India have reiterated their bonds of friendship, and they have identified certain areas which they would like to target and sharp focus on. And one of these areas, very interestingly, is France telling India that, we respect and we believe in this concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And what we are going to do is we're going to help India, we're going to share technology with you, and we are also going to make cutting edge stuff right here in India, which means that France, an expert in fighter aircraft manufacturing, we already have the Rafale. France, which is an expert in nuclear submarines. France is a nuclear power and also an expert in making nuclear submarines. All this could happen in the future, where France comes to India with its technology, uses Indian shipbuilding yards to make nuclear submarines, transfer technology to India. India already has nuclear technology for making submarines, and you've all heard of INS Arihant and INS Arighat. But we need more. We need attack submarines, something that France has mastered a long, long way back. Also about Rafales, we're hearing rumors, and I don't know if this is true or not, but hearing rumors that India wants more of Rafales. But India says that we will buy Rafales, but they have to be manufactured in India. This could be, and this is purely my guess, my analysis, this could be one of the things on the plate as far as the Indo-France strategic dialogue is concerned. The other things discussed in this dialogue, in this summit of sorts, was that while Mr. Bon met Prime Minister Modi and he met Dr. S. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, they spoke about partnering in space. So when you speak about partnering in space, essentially it boils down to the fact that ISRO is a world-class space agency. ISRO is able to successfully send missions to Mars, to the moon. We've all heard of Chandrayaan and Gaganyaan, and we know how over 100 satellites were sent into space on a single ISRO rocket, and done very cheaply at that. This is something that is very, very attractive to the world, and India is coming up as one of the space powers of the world, and this would be attractive for France. So India and France partner in space. India and France will also partner in energy. They will partner in defense, and there are so many other fields that were discussed. But especially with regard to energy, with regard to space, and with regard to defense, I think this is a very, very positive step. In France, India has a solid partner who has stood by India throughout decades. We've already used fixed-wing aircraft of France for a very long time in India. And after the Rafale, that partnership, that friendship was solidified. Now, it remains to be seen how they take this forward. They're also talking about partnering in Eurasia. They're talking about partnering in the Indo-Pacific, in the Global South, because India seeks to take leadership of the Global South. And this is where France comes in. France is part of the United Nations Security Council. The 5 permanent members of the UNSC include France, and look forward to a lot of naval exercises, a lot of air exercises, and a lot of army exercises between the defense forces, the armed forces of France and India. What I think is going to happen is Indian aircraft carriers and French aircraft carriers, submarines and their frigates and their destroyers will come together in this region, and they will take part in the exercises, bilaterals maybe, of France and India. We're talking about Rafales from India, Sukhois from India, and Rafales from France, going through various maneuvers. And also, what I anticipate is that Indian Army Special Forces and the French Special Forces doing a lot of exercises, the infantry doing a lot of exercises together. Now, obviously Europe is spooked. Obviously Europe is spooked. And that is because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, because the entire Europe is next door. So if the war spills out of Ukraine, then you don't know where it will go. You can never say with war. You can never say with, hardcore kinetic conflicts where the conflict will go. Sometimes it just spirals out of control. It cannot be contained. And history has shown us that conflicts cannot be contained. And obviously France, England, Germany, all these nations are spooked by the Russian aggression in Ukraine. And this aggression, this war does not seem to be ending anytime soon, though President Putin has declared a 36-hour ceasefire for festivities, religious festivities. Now, the point here is simple. The point here is that who understands Russia the best in this region? It is India. India has had a 75-year-old partnership with Russia. India has Russian weapons and equipment. Even today, 60 to 68% of Indian equipment used by the armed forces is Russian. So if you want to understand Russian technology, if you want to understand how Russia thinks, what Russia's strategies are, and how Russia can actually go into battle, what Russia would think from that perspective, there is no country better than India, because India has trained with the Russians and has been training for decades and decades now. As I said, all our T-90s and our T-72s and our S-400s and even the AK-47s that we use, and not limited to these platforms. There are just more and more in the Navy, in the Air Force, in the Army. There are even enough and more platforms which say that the Russians and the Indians have had a very close partnership, and the world wants to understand, not from the point of view of waging war, just from the point of view of understanding how the Russians function. And I think India could play a very, very important part in this entire partnership. Friends, another interesting news is India partnering with Bangladesh, in defense production and supplies. Now, Bangladesh has shown interest, and let me read from here. Bangladesh has shown interest in specialist vehicles from Tata and Mahindra, Tejas combat aircraft and Dhruv light helicopters, and also the fact that the Mi-17 helicopter, Anatov AN-32 transport aircraft and MiG-29 jets. Now, India has maintenance facilities for all these aircraft. India has maintenance facilities built over decades, the kind that Bangladesh does not have. And I think primarily outside of Russia, India has the best maintenance facilities for Russian weapon platforms. And that goes without saying, because India, for a long, long time, was the country that purchased the maximum Russian weaponry. And as I said, 60 to 68% of our armed forces still use Russian equipment. And this is what is attractive. So they say that we want to talk to Tata, we want to talk to Mahindra for specialized vehicles for the Bangladesh Army. That is one part of it. The second part is they say that we like the Tejas aircraft and maybe we want to explore this relationship further. Now, Tejas is a single engine fighter aircraft. It is the latest in its class, isn't very expensive. Tejas is a tried and tested platform because the Indian Air Force uses it, and the Indian Air Force has got its own credibility. Now, a lot of countries have started showing interest in Tejas, and that usually happens when you come up with your own indigenous platform. So this is not something like the Pakistanis trying to sell the JF-17 Thunder, because that is essentially what China has given to Pakistan. It's not Pakistan's platform. It is a Chinese platform given on loan to Pakistan, which Pakistan is trying to palm off as its own. But the fact of the matter is, Tejas is our very own platform, and Tejas is something that interests Bangladesh. Now, there was also a $500 million line of credit regarding defense, which India had facilitated Bangladesh with. And India should do this, because the more our neighbors buy from us, the closer the relationship. We have very long and historical ties going right up to 1971. Though the ties in United Bengal are much, much older, and the Bengali language itself, people say, is around 1500 years old, 1500 years old. The thing is that Bangladesh is one of our most powerful and closest neighbors. Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar. These are the neighbors with which we've had, essentially friendly relations, give or take. There have been ups and downs, no doubt, but those have been diplomatic ups and downs. We have not fought wars, unlike the case with China and Pakistan. So if Bangladesh starts buying Indian equipment, it stands to reason that there will be maintenance contracts. It stands to reason that there will be training, obviously. So let us say Bangladesh decides to buy the Tejas. So that will mean years of training. That will mean Indian pilots going to Bangladesh and Bangladeshi pilots coming to India and training. There will be cross training. There will be joint training, maintenance. This makes the countries, in the sense, closer, gets the countries closer. There is partnership, and also the fact that India can then effectively counter China. So I'm not saying that because of this China will disappear from Bangladesh. That's not going to happen. But what will happen is that there will be another stakeholder in the region. It will not be a free highway for the Chinese to zoom on. There will be another power engaging with Bangladesh on equal terms. And this is what we have tried to tell Bangladesh, for a very, very long time, that India and Bangladesh are brothers, and India is not the elder brother. We are not your elder brothers. We are equal. Bangladesh and India are equal. And I have said this before, and many Indian Army veterans have also said this, that we also owe the 1971 victory to the Mukti Bahini. And though we don't speak about it so often, but we should. And so our ties with Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, his daughter, who's the current Prime Minister of Bangladesh, and other people within Bangladesh are cultural, they are deep, they are friendly. And this is just one more step by which we can actually go forward and partner with Bangladesh and be better friends, be better neighbors. And there is so much that Bangladesh can give us. Bangladesh is one of the world leaders in textiles, and we can gain from Bangladesh and Bangladesh can gain from us. Now, coming to Pakistan, my favorite topic, what has happened in Pakistan is there are rumors, and I cannot say for a fact that this has happened, but there are rumors that Pakistan has conducted airstrikes in Nangarhar province of Afghanistan. So the Foreign Office of Pakistan has come out and said this is untrue, this is fake news, we have done nothing of the sort. But if you remember last year, Pakistan did conduct airstrikes inside Afghanistan in two different provinces, and more than 40 people died, out of them 15 or 16 were children. So the Pakistani Air Force actually killed children inside Afghanistan, and the Taliban condemned it. And one of the reasons why there is a wave of these attacks happening inside Pakistan, though Afghan Taliban is not directly responsible, but you can say that the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan swears loyalty to the Afghan Taliban, and whatever they're doing is with the blessings of the Afghan Taliban, and this is what is happening. So I don't know if the Pakistani Air Force has conducted airstrikes inside Afghanistan, but the fact of the matter is that soon one day they will have to. And why? On this very program, a few months back, I had told you that the United States of America had given $450 million assistance for F-16 fighter aircraft to Pakistan. So Pakistan already has a fleet, it has squadrons of F-16 aircraft, but obviously the spare parts and the maintenance has to come from the United States of America because they manufacture this aircraft. Pakistan does not. So what happened was that America said, all right, your fleet is almost getting grounded, we will give you this much assistance. They gave assistance. And this is something, now I would like you to listen to this very, very closely. I've been saying this for a long time. When Imran Khan went on record and in front of that foreign journalist, he said, on being asked whether you will give drone bases to America, Imran Khan had said, absolutely not. And he said, we will not give it. The fact of the matter is, America never asked Pakistan for those bases. And there are so many people within Pakistan who have said that if America did ask you for bases, I'm sure there is a letter, there is some sort of message, there is a diplomatic cable. Because when you ask for such things, it's noted somewhere. Imran Khan was not able to produce any document. And that absolutely not was fabricated by the trolls of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, and they gave Imran Khan an aura of defiance that here is one man, an upright guy, who's standing up against a superpower called America. Now, there is a great deal of anti-Americanism in America for some reason which I have not been able to decipher, because it is on American aid and American help that Pakistan has survived so long. But having said that, let us analyze this a bit. Now, Imran Khan says absolutely not. I will not give you drone bases. Suddenly, the State Department, 3-4 days back, makes a comment that, in view of all these terrorist attacks happening on Pakistan, Pakistan has every right to defend itself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join the dots. America never wanted drone bases from Pakistan. What they did was they gave $450 million to Pakistan and they purchased the services of the Pakistan Air Force. So, if Pakistan has not conducted these airstrikes today, I would like to make a prediction that Pakistan will conduct airstrikes. If it has already not done so, Pakistan will conduct airstrikes in future. Pakistan will send its F-16s deep inside Afghan territory. The targets, the grid coordinates of the targets, the latitude and the longitude will be decided by the CIA. The Americans are going to do it. They're going to send it to the Pakistanis and the Pakistanis will bomb those targets. It is 1979 to 89 all over again. It is the war on terror after 9/11 all over again. Pakistan has sold its services to the highest bidder. Now, there are 2-3 fallouts. Why is this happening? This is happening because Pakistan desperately needs America to survive. Saudi Arabia can only give so much money. You see, China has literally stopped the China-Pakistan economic corridor and China has said, listen, we are no longer interested. Their engineers have pulled back from various projects, citing security concerns. America is the only country in the world which will give Pakistan money for wishy-washy reasons like democracy and women's rights and children's rights. China doesn't do that. And why do I call this wishy-washy? Because Pakistan will take the money, they'll siphon off the money, buy luxury apartments in Dubai and in London, and women's rights and children's rights will remain a wishy-washy dream. It's not going to happen in Pakistan. But America, under some excuse or the other, keeps on giving Pakistan money. Strengthening of democracy. Imagine, America would like to give Pakistan money for strengthening democracy in Pakistan. What interest would America have in a democratic Pakistan? Or what interest would anybody have in Pakistan, forget democratic or autocratic? But America gives money. Why? Because America needs somebody to do that dirty work in Afghanistan. And there is no more willing a partner than Pakistan. Pervez Musharraf, General Pervez Musharraf, former Chief of Army Staff and President, while President of Pakistan, in an interview given to a journalist inside the President out of Pakistan, said that his own unit, the Special Services Group, and he used the word mercenaries for his own regiment, which is shocking for me as an ex-army officer. How can you use such a word? The word mercenary is derogatory to our soldiers. And he said that yes, they were mercenaries, they went and fought inside Afghanistan. Essentially, the Pakistani army, even then, and he was talking about the period from 79 to 89, the Pakistani army took money. The Pakistan army took money from the United States of America to fight against the Russians. And its soldiers were freelancing. So, this is exactly what Pakistan has done right now. What Pakistan has done is taken money from the Americans and Americans provide the target. What the Pakistanis will do is also bomb Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, but they will also bomb targets of Al-Qaeda and they will bomb the Islamic State Khorasan chapter inside Afghanistan. Under this all-encompassing agenda of war on terror, that we are under attack, we are under threat. You see how the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan is, it's acting against us. Now recently, within the Taliban, some faction of the Taliban has said that the attack on the Pakistani ambassador or the attack on the Pakistani embassy was actually carried out by the Islamic State. And a section of the Taliban said that we have killed those people. Very convenient. So what does this do? This gives Pakistan a handle to tell the world that, hey, listen, it is the Islamic State that is attacking us. It is the Islamic State that is attacking the state of Pakistan and we need to respond. Now, where is the Islamic State Khorasan chapter? It is inside Afghanistan. So essentially, Pakistan takes American money, makes America's enemies its own enemies, and then targets America's enemies for America. And Imran Khan, that pinnacle of fakery, says absolutely not. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know where this is going. In another very interesting development, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which is a de facto terror outfit, says that they will target the Pakistan Muslim League Noon, of which Nawaz Sharif and Shahbaz Sharif are the head. It's a family-owned enterprise. And they will target the PPP, Pakistan People's Party, whose head is Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, again a family-owned enterprise. But the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan will not target the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Why? Now, there are 2-3 reasons why this is happening, and I'd like to explain them to you. Number one, Imran Khan has always supported the TTP. If you look at his statements in the past, even after the horrific APS massacre, in which more than 132 children were killed, more than 140 people were killed, out of them 132 children, Army Public School, Peshawar. Imran Khan was the only person in all of Pakistan who was saying, let's talk to the Taliban. You know, when a top Taliban commander was killed in a drone strike, he actually justified revenge attacks on Pakistani armed forces by saying that this Taliban commander, this Tehreek-e-Taliban commander, was a peace-loving man and you killed him, which is why they are targeting you. And well done. This Imran Khan will never be attacked by terrorists simply because this man can go on the floor of the Pakistan Parliament, the National Assembly, and say that Osama bin Laden is a martyr. Imran Khan is the poster boy of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Imran Khan is the poster boy of the Afghan Taliban. They will never do anything against Imran Khan Niazi. Imran Khan believes in their philosophy. Imran Khan believes in what they have to say and what they do. Imran Khan will never condemn the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, irrespective of the number of Pakistanis that they kill. In another news out of Pakistan, and very interesting, the Pakistani Senate has written to the Nobel Peace Prize Committee and told them that there is no better candidate for the Nobel Peace Prize than Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey. And they say why. The reasons given are very interesting. They said that there is a lot of misinformation and disinformation about Islam. And Tayyip Erdogan has actually dedicated his entire life to clearing up these misconceptions, and therefore he must be given the Nobel Prize. This is obviously another Pakistani hook under the guise of Islam to extract money from Turkey and to be in the good books of Erdogan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is right out of the Pakistani playbook. Do you remember the dictator, that very famous dictator, Colonel Muammar Gaddafi? Gaddafi gave Pakistan money, and so they named a stadium after Gaddafi in Pakistan, Gaddafi Stadium, where cricket matches happen. Very famous. Faisalabad was named after King Faisal. So anybody who gives money to Pakistan, Pakistan will change its foreign policy. It's morally flexible, that nation. So here, they see a ray of hope. They see a ray of hope. And why are they doing this? Why are the Pakistanis doing this? This is also to extract money, not just from Turkey, because Turkey doesn't have too much to spare. This is essentially a hook for Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia and the erstwhile Ottoman Empire, Turkey, have been at war for a long time. And in fact, during the First World War, you must have heard about the cavalry charge, the famous cavalry charge of the Jodhpur Lancers in the Haifa port. This was the Indian Army's action against the Ottoman Empire. And after that, the Ottoman Empire crashed, and so many things happened in this world. But the problem always has been that the Ottomans and the Saudis were never friends. What Tayyip Erdogan wants today is the leadership of the Muslim world. He sees himself as the next Khalifa, the leader of all the Muslims in the world. That position is currently held by Saudi Arabia. Now, this is something that Turkey cannot accept. Turkey wants that position. Pakistan is playing Turkey against Saudi Arabia. Pakistan has almost no foreign exchange reserves. Before 20th of January, Pakistan needs to give, in terms of repayment of loans, $1.5 billion. For a country that just has $5.8 billion in its kitty, this is like a punch to the guts. Now you have the current army chief, General Asim Munir, in Saudi Arabia, begging for money. And the Saudis say, we have already given you so much of money, of which there is no accounting. First get an okay by the IMF. Once you come into the IMF program, we will give you money. But the Pakistanis desperately need some money. And what do Pakistanis do? What do the Pakistanis do against the very people whom they say are their closest friend and Muslim brothers, the Arabs? They actually throw a hook. The Pakistani Senate says that we will nominate, and they have actually nominated Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey, for the Nobel Peace Prize. This is signaling to the Saudis that if you don't give us money, you know where we will go. Thank you for watching this episode of Checkmate, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back again next week. Till then, have a great weekend.